I have received reports of a number of villagers hiding at the Clearfell logging site. Travel there and convey my order to return. Anyone refusing my authority should be considered a traitor and a criminal. Deal with them as you see fit, but bring their bodies back to the manor.
Finally! Took down the Devourer, did you? Oh, that's incredible! This is the first real success we've had against the darkness. We can breathe a bit easier now, perhaps even go out and gather food. Now, this won't cover our debt to you, not nearly, but take it as thanks. If you find a pint out there, do bring it.
In the Growlway? Curious? Too long, dear sister. What a beautiful monstrosity. Ah! find you, monstrous weed. I think not. What happened here? This shade, is it still alive? Perhaps it can give us the answers we seek. Only the Count's sword has the power to bind souls to the tree like this. We must free it somehow. To release that being from the Tree of Souls, we'll need more than simply cutting his rope. The ancient runes that imbue the Count's blade created the binding, and only ancient runes can break it. There is a battlefield not far from here that runs red with rust, where the weapons and armor of countless Ezamites still remain. We call it the Red Veil. You should search the area. There may still be power in some of those centuries-old relics. Renly will know how to forge them, bring the runes to him, and then, perhaps, we shall find some answers. I'll wait here. The old magics will protect me. Hello. The Red Veil played host to the final and bloodiest battle of countless conflicts. It was in the heart of that veil that we fought for our freedom against the Eternals. We did win, in a sense. But the cost was far greater than anyone expected. Many generations of able-bodied men and women gave their lives to push off the boot of oppression. Ogham's clans haven't been the same since, even centuries on. So this is the source of my shadowed dreams. Not the tree, but the shade upon it. As strange as it sounds, I believe we should help this creature. For the Count to bind it to the tree, it must be involved in all of this somehow. There is something very wrong in Ogham, and it may know something of it. This shade, is it to release them? So this is the source of my... As strange as it... My mother's mother told me tales of this tree. Our ancestors used it to attract fey spirits, until it was given a darker purpose under the Eternals. They would leave Ezamites strung up on the tree, alive, to starve, to be pecked at by birds. The great sword Agnar is currently in Count Geonor's possession, but the mighty rune blade was not always his to wield. It is an ancient weapon of the old magics, inspired by the Great Wolf himself. Legend says it was forged and runed for the original clan leader so he might lead his people to a new, safer land. This brought them to Farrell, where they founded Ogham. Ever since, Agnar was passed down to the leader of the strongest clan. When the position of Count was established in Ogham, the sword was bound to the roll. But now, Geonor sullies his remarkable history with his misdeeds. I hope I will live to see the day when someone worthy takes up the sword once more.
By decree of the Count of Ogham, those condemned to hang from these branches are to be left until their hearts no longer beat, their lungs no longer fill with air, and their flesh is no longer warm. In death, you are not forgiven. Your souls will remain trapped here by this ancient moor of maligned wood, and the grove will be forever denied you. Rot here in the Grellwood for all time, and good riddance.
Perhaps this is what we need.
Impudent undead. No. Voice. He sounds like fun. There's the third.
Here are your spikes, but be cautious. They stayed warm after forging, no matter how many times I quenched them. I would ask what you need these for, but I'm putting my trust in you. Stick to the cairns.
What happened here? Stab the spikes into the runewood markings. Good. Now the others.
Do as I command. Release this shade to my service.
He's unconscious, but he's breathing. Though, this wound... We should take him back to Clearfell. He may be the only one who knows what truly happened out here. Goodbye.
I heard you're heading for the village. When I fled for my life, there was no time for me to grab all my smithing tools. If you do manage to reach my forge, you should find them and bring them here. I'll set up a bench and we can see about working on your equipment. This part of Farrell has been a fair home for many an Essamite generation. The clans didn't always get along, but we had to settle our feuds when the Eternals laid their savage boot upon us. We weren't able to take part in the Bloody Flowers Rebellion, but we had our share of combat. Bad enough I have all these folks to protect. I was hoping you might have seen him when you were in their custody. I found him washed up on the riverbanks when he was just a child. Every day here in Clearfell, I keep my eyes on the river, hoping. That place used to be a kind and warm. It's a dark well now, with no way out for most. It's a shame what happened to old Brannock. Oh, he tried to batter his way in for 5 full days once. Go well.
The wound. It should be fatal, but somehow he clings to life. I fear it will not be long until his song ends. He will never heal while the Count's binding still holds sway. Only by a Count's hand can this binding be released. I know an old tale. One that speaks of a ring we might be able to recover, buried 3 centuries ago in our ancient graveyard. A Count's signet ring, bearing his rune of authority. But how to reach it in time? The grim tangle. The overgrown sinkholes and gullies that run beneath Ogham can lead you there. The path is dangerous, but go back to the Grelwood. Find the entrance. We shall see if the spirits of this land still have the will to see you through. Renly brings the strength. Finn brings the wit. He doubts himself, but I know he will, in many ways. I survive, but all that I was is gone. I was away when it happened. There is scant hope in my heart for my father. But I must believe my mother and the Devourer is just another victim of the sickness infecting our precious. The infection in the soil. It is sad to see such a great creature slain. The first ones ran wild through the Grell. Over time, the forest became abundant. The curse upon this land has made the known path. He wears an eloquent mask of words. I doubt anyone here has seen what lies beneath. For many summers, I was always masked, always pretending to be something. The graves of our people lie beneath the Eternals too. This is the cycle of life, as we have always. That is why we do not fight the wood and stone to reclaim our